Why are you here, Mr. Clarkson?
Well, because I'm here to support farmers.
Right. Are you angry?
It's difficult to be angry on somebody else's behalf. That's like being... Yes, no, I'm not angry on someone else's behalf.
So one of the reasons Rachel Reeves says she brought this in is to stop wealthy people using it as a way
No,
of
that was the
avoiding-
only reason she did.
Well,
Why
no, the other reason was to raise money for public services.
It's not the fact that I bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax. The fact.
You told the Sunday Times in 2021 that's why you bought it.
These people.
Sorry?
BBC.
Elon Musk, the tech billionaire known for shaking up industries, has now set his sights on British politics. In a stunning move, he's publicly calling out Keir Starmer over the arrest of Jeremy Clarkson. But what led to this unexpected clash between a Silicon Valley titan and the UK's Labour leader? The answer lies in a series of events that have left millions of Britons questioning their government's priorities. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Jeremy Clarkson, the outspoken TV personality known for his controversial opinions, found himself in hot water recently. His arrest under the Public Order Act sent shockwaves through British society and ignited a fierce debate about free speech. Clarkson's no stranger to ruffling feathers. He's made a career out of pushing boundaries and speaking his mind, often landing him in trouble, but his recent criticisms of the government struck a chord with many.
It's Harry from The Sun.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to come along and support farmers.
How do you think it's went?
Well, I mean, it's too big a crowd to have a march, so that's... I mean, a lot of farmers today, let's not forget, are on gritting duties.
Yeah.
I know two who weren't able to be here today because they feel obliged to clear the roads of snow. No, subtler. Subtler. What it is, it's a fine column for perhaps next Saturday.
How many people do you reckon was out there? You could see back there?
Yeah, there's a big old crowd, but we knew there would be.
He even declared that Keir Starmer was banned from his farm and pub, a move that garnered both cheers and jeers from the public. The arrest itself was a surreal scene. Police arrived, stating that Clarkson's continued presence constituted a breach of the peace. It's hard to imagine the imposing figure of Clarkson being led away by officers, but that's exactly what happened. The charges brought against him were vague, leaving many to wonder if this was about maintaining order or silencing dissent. Public reaction was swift and divided. Some saw it as a necessary step to curb inflammatory behavior, while others viewed it as a dangerous assault on free speech. Social media exploded with debates, memes, and calls for action. The arrest seemed to touch a nerve, revealing deep-seated anxieties about the direction of British democracy. This incident highlights a troubling trend in the UK's approach to free speech. Laws like Section 127 of the Communications Act 2003 have made it an offence to send messages deemed grossly offensive or menacing. But who decides what crosses that line? The vague wording has led to controversial arrests for social media posts, leaving many Brits feeling like they're walking on eggshells when expressing their opinions online. As the controversy swirled, an unexpected voice entered the fray. Elon Musk, the tech billionaire known for his own outspoken nature, took to Twitter with a scathing critique. "Arrested for making comments on Facebook," he exclaimed. "Is this Britain or the Soviet Union?" With those words, Musk threw his considerable influence behind the growing backlash against Starmer's government. Musk's involvement elevated the issue from a local controversy to an international incident. His tweets gained traction rapidly, tapping into a well of frustration with the UK's political climate. He didn't stop at criticizing the arrest either. Musk began to highlight the disconnect between Starmer's promises and the reality faced by British citizens, particularly focusing on farmers grappling with new tax policies. Keir Starmer's journey from celebrated reformer to embattled leader is a cautionary tale of politics gone wrong. His government's actions sparked outrage among farmers, confusion among voters, and drew the ire of one of the world's most influential figures. But how did it all go so spectacularly off the rails? Starmer's rise to power was meteoric. A former human rights lawyer and director of public prosecutions, he swept into Labour leadership, promising a fresh start. His initial public support was buoyed by pledges of unity, competent governance, and a commitment to addressing the concerns of ordinary Britons. People were ready for change, and Starmer seemed to embody it. But the honeymoon period didn't last long. As months passed, a growing sense of dissatisfaction began to simmer among voters. Promises made during the campaign seemed to evaporate in the harsh light of day. Starmer's government faced accusations of flip-flopping on key issues and failing to deliver on core promises. The public's patience wore thin as they watched their hopes for meaningful change fade away. Enter Elon Musk, the controversial tech billionaire with a penchant for stirring the pot. What started as a tweet about Jeremy Clarkson's arrest quickly snowballed into a full-blown critique of Starmer's leadership. Musk's involvement in UK politics ramped up, with each tweet gaining more traction than the last. One of Musk's most damning accusations was that of two-tier policing under Starmer's watch. This charge struck a chord with many Brits who felt that law enforcement wasn't treating all communities equally. The idea that some groups might be getting preferential treatment while others faced harsher scrutiny fueled existing tensions and eroded trust in the government. But it was Starmer's new inheritance tax policy for farmers truly lit the fuse of public anger. The policy capped inheritance tax relief for agricultural assets at $1 million, a move that sent shockwaves through rural communities. Farmers saw this as a direct threat to their livelihoods and the future of family-owned farms. The countryside erupted in protests, with tractors blocking roads and fields filled with angry demonstrators. As the government struggled to contain the growing unrest, a grassroots movement began to take shape online. A petition calling for a new government gained momentum at an astonishing rate. Within days, it had surpassed 2.5 million signatures, a clear sign that Starmer's leadership was in crisis. The clash between Elon Musk and Keir Starmer, has exposed deep fissures in British society. Musk's tweets about Clarkson's arrest and accusations of two-tier policing struck a chord with many who feel let down by Starmer's leadership. The Labour leader's inheritance tax policy for farmers ignited widespread protests, revealing a growing disconnect between the government and rural communities. This conflict raises serious questions about the future of UK democracy and free speech. Will social media continue to shape political discourse, with figures like Musk wielding significant influence? How will the government respond to growing public dissatisfaction and demands for accountability? As Britain grapples with these challenges, one can't help but wonder, is this the beginning of a new era in British politics, or simply another chapter in the ongoing struggle between the establishment and the voice of the people?